everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. My name is Fiona Gao. I'm currently leading the online brand protection department in LexisNexis. So today we have invited WeChat team to host a webinar together, focusing on IP protection in modern app environments. So we have Ross Zhang here, Kenny Lee from WeChat, and our LexisNexis host, Xinyao Liu. I will in a second give the floor to Xinyao to further introduce our speakers. But before we start our webinar officially, I would like to mention a couple of housekeeping points. So first, this webinar is being recorded and you will receive a link to access it in the follow-up email. Secondly, on the right side of the tool, you can also find question box to submit your questions during webinar. You can also use the chat box to communicate with each other during this webinar. So thanks very much for joining us today. Enjoy the webinar, and I will give the floor to Xinyao.
Thank you, Fiona, for the introduction. So good morning, everyone, for those who are joining from Europe, and then good afternoon for those who are joining from China or other Asian countries. I'm Xinyao Liu, working in the LexisNexis Shanghai office, and today we're super happy to invite two legal specialists from the WeChat Weixin team, Ross Zhang and Kenny Lee. Ross will be the main presentation speakers for today. Can we have the next slide, please? Right. Today's webinar will be talking about how to protect your brand in modern app environments. We're having a conversation with our beloved WeChat and in the Chinese name Weixin team. I think I will give all the attendees a little bit more time to join us before we officially kick it out. Just like Fiona said, please feel free to write your question and then send your comments whenever during the webinar. In the end, I will have Kenny to give us leading the Q&A session. So the whole webinar will last around 1 hour. Probably a little bit extension depends on our activities, how it enrolls. I wouldn't want to occupy your morning or afternoon hour in a Monday. I'm seeing more and more people joining with us. So good to see you guys. Right, let's begin. And can we have the next slide, please, Rose? Before we officially kick it off, we are having a little bit introduction for our own team, online brand protection team from LexisNexis. We're currently offering these modules for any brand owners across the world, namely marketplaces, domain websites, and social media are started today, and also app stores, search engine, and we're also offering our unique tool, Hypertext Tracer. It's also a registered trademark. And then next slide, please, Ross. So why did we invite WeChat or Weixin team to join us today? It is because WeChat or Weixin, it is a Chinese instant messaging, social media, and mobile payment app developed by Tencent. And it was first released in 2011. It became the world's largest standalone mobile app in 2018 with over 1 billion monthly active users. It's a crazily popular among especially Mandarin speakers. And WeChat Weixin has been described as China's app for everything and a super app because of its wide range of functions. And that Ross will elaborate on that later. And it's not only an instant communication application, but also an information publication platform. Given this, WeChat Weixin has developed unique brand protection tools. Next one, please. Today's agenda. What is WeChat or Weixin? How can we use it? How can it protect the brand? And this is a unique tool by WeChat Weixin. It's called BPP. What are the advantages of joining it? Ross will give you the answer later. And also we'll give you a hint of other protection mechanisms supported by WeChat and some offline brand protection efforts. As you can see here, Ross Zhang will be leading the sharing later, and Kenny Lee will join us for the Q&A session. Thank you, Ross. I will give the floor to you. Please work your magic.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ross Zhang from WeChat or Weixin legal team. I'm a legal counsel with WeChat and Weixin, and today I'll talk about the brand protection mechanisms that WeChat or Weixin have. Yeah. First, we would do a general introduction of Tencent and Weixin or WeChat. As you may know, Tencent is a giant tech company from China, and we have a lot of products in various areas, including communication tools such as WeChat or Weixin, and QQ. And also we have digital content platforms, fintech services such as WeChat Pay, and also other type of tools. And you might ask why we say Weixin and WeChat, because these are different. Basically, Weixin is mainly for China's mainland users, and WeChat is for international users. These two apps are separate but interoperable, which means that they apply different terms of services. They have different privacy policies, etc. While Weixin and WeChat users can seamlessly chat together and use common functions such as moments, official accounts, etc. So basically, it allows Mandarin speakers, mainly Mandarin speakers, to communicate with each other, both in mainland China and outside. This slide shows some important milestones for WeChat or Weixin. Now we have more than 1.29 billion users, and we started from a pure instant messaging app, WeChat 1.0, as you may see here on the on the bottom in 2011, and then since then we have more and more features made available to our users, such as WeChat Moments in 2012, WeChat Pay in 2013, WeChat Mini Programs in 2017, and those channels features in 2020. Then we talk about Weixin's brand protection system. Before going to the gist, we would like to spend some time to talk about the nature of Weixin or WeChat. Yeah, basically, Weixin is not only an instant communication tool, but also an information publication platform, which means that Weixin has both private and public features. For private features, the most representative ones are chat and moments. Weixin Chats provides instant messaging between mutual contacts, individually or in a group. And Moments provide photos, video, and audio sharing, which is also between friends, so it's not visible to outsiders, basically. And the public features include mini programs, official accounts, and channels, basically. Mini program is to enable third-party service providers to develop and operate mini programs on Weixin's open platform to connect with Weixin users and build business relationship. Users can access these third-party mini programs anytime through Weixin without the need to install separate applications. So it's like a built-in function, but operated and developed and operated by third parties. And then official accounts allow individuals, media, and businesses to share original content and engage with their audience. Channels is a separate ID-based content platform for public sharing video and live streaming content offered to users via social network and recommendations. Basically, we have that algorithm. So we want to mention that like counterfeiting activities can occur in private settings such as chats and moments we just talked about, or in public settings such as official accounts mini programs. So to deal with different kind of settings, brand protection tools on Weixin are designed to fit a variety of scenarios. Another important point we want to make is that Weixin does not provide or oversee an e-commerce marketplace where goods are publicly available for sale on the platform. And therefore, anti-counterfeiting measures we take differs from e-commerce platforms. Basically, you can name it. Yeah. Take Moments as an example. For Moments, it's a social while private feature. It's designed for sharing live moments and information with your friends, and no e-commerce functions or transactional capabilities are there on Moments. It's only visible to Weixin friends and not visible to the public. Also, on the right-hand side, you can see a screenshot of privacy control, which means that users have the control over their privacy to select, to what extent they want to be visible on Moments. And this kind of private settings as Moments pose difficulties to combating counterfeiting, as we need to respect users' privacy, apparently. So we will have to rely on user reporting heavily for anti-counterfeiting measures in this kind of setting. Then it comes to two main questions we have, like from brand owners. So in private settings, how do right holders find infringement leads? And how does Weixin identify infringing information, like without a kind of pre-screening mechanism? Here is the main brand protection mechanism, which is BPP, as Xinyao just mentioned. It's the short abbreviation for brand protection platform, by the way. As this graphic shows, users are able to submit leads on counterfeiting through their Weixin app, and then brand owners who are connected with the BPP can view the leads submitted by users on the back end, and then they can do the verification and notify the preliminary verification outcome to Weixin. Weixin will do a second review and then decide whether to take actions against the allegedly infringing account. So basically, after we do all this process, we might penalize the complaint, and then we will notify the enforcement outcome to both the brand owners and the users. This slide shows some important numbers of the BPP. In 2022 H1, we received more than 100,000 infringement leads, and then more than 30,000 accounts have been penalized. Also, some technical issues. Apologies. Yeah, also we have connected with over 500 brand owners on the BPP. This is another number that we want to share with you guys. We want to highlight here is that the leads reviewed by brand owners have been drastically improved. Like working closely with brand owners, the percentage of leads and user reports reviewed by brand owners for enforcement activities has steadily increased from 2020 to 2022 H1, from 38% around to around like now it moves up to almost 64%, which is about like 100% increase. So this increase stems in part from a combination of enhanced training and education on how to use the BPP platform and the higher quality leads that have facilitated more efficient action against infringing accounts. So brand owners on BPP are more willing to review the leads right now. Then we talk about the benefits of accessing Weixin brand protection platform. These are the main benefits. We are not listing everything here, but we can talk about the main ones a bit. The first one is that brand owners can verify users' complaints on the BPP backend. Basically, like when a user submit a report on infringement activities, then the brand owners can see the supporting materials submitted by the user, and also can see the contact information of the reporting user if this is provided. Also, the infringing account information can be seen, and the brand owners can provide their verification opinion like down there, and basically Weixin will determine what actions to be taken based on the verification outcome provided by the brand owners. This one is the comparison actually we are going to provide. This shows how brand owners who are not connected to the BPP can initiate complaints. As you may see, this can only be done on the Weixin app, which is not available on the web page. And you have to do all the complaints like one by one, and then you need to provide these descriptions, you need to provide supporting materials, and then and etc. On the other hand, for brand owners who are connected to the BPP, they can conveniently initiate complaints on their web page, actually on their BPP backend, and then they can do it quickly without the need to keying in identity information, supporting materials, and then they can do the verification in this page as well. So it's like a one-stop solution for brand owners. The next benefit is the simplified notice filing process for Weixin official account and mini programs. So in previous slides, we talked about the brand protection on private features such as chats, moments, which is covered by the BPP. Brand owners, by connecting with the BPP, also get benefit in Weixin's public-facing features, which include Weixin official accounts and mini programs. These are under different system, but as a BPP member, you will enjoy benefits. For example, when BPP member can just scan this QR code and make complaint on the web page, a regular complaint has to be made in a way more I wouldn't say difficult, but sophisticated way. For example, we provide a comparison here for your easy understanding. On the left, when brand owners who are not connected to the BPP has to provide the particulars of their organizations and also upload proof of the business identity, which means if you are a overseas entity, you will need to provide scanned copies of your notarized and legalized business license, like POA, etc., here. And then we all understand that this notarization and legalization process can take time. Also, on the other hand, brand owners who are connected with the BPP, because we already have their information and which is verified already, in our database. So you do not have to key in your particulars, and then you do not have to upload your identity documents, and then you can just make complaints here. Another point we want to address is that the transparency of brand protection mechanism on Weixin. So on the BPP's backend, we have published a number of guidelines, rules, and notice of upgrade on the BPP. Basically, BPP members have convenient access to such information, and a lot of times this information are in both Chinese and English, which would be easy to comprehend by overseas brand owners as well. Yeah, further to the previous slide, Weixin brand protection guide, we also have it in both English and Chinese. And then we have this website on the right-hand side. These are all guidelines of making complaints against IP infringement on Weixin and protecting third-party IP rights. Down here is the official accounts that Weixin operates, which provides further details, of brand protection progress, information, latest upgrades, etc. So we have many channels of information available to our BPP members. In terms of access to the Weixin BPP, we also have this access guidelines for Weixin BPP, which is also in both English and Chinese. On the right-hand side is the application page. Although it's in Chinese, but actually we have a page in English. So you may conveniently click this URL on the top and see whether you would like to join the BPP. Yeah. Then we talk about some more brand protection measures other than the BPP. The first one we want to highlight is the keyword protection mechanism. So basically, brand protection, begins with account registration, we believe. So account names for official accounts, mini programs, and channels must be unique and different from existing registered and verified accounts under our rules. So basically, this keyword protection mechanism or system automatically intercepts registration and change of account names containing certain keywords in our brand database. And this database consists of a number of keywords, including BPP members' trademarks, their trade names, their other kind of names or like copyrighted names they wanted to protect, all things like that. So we prevent registration of account names containing this kind of pre-verified and protected keywords. So if a user tries to create an account name containing a keyword in this database, the user will be required to provide a proof of trademark ownership or license of that brand. Otherwise, he or she will not be able to proceed. And for BPP owners to add brand keywords, you can also email us to this email address. Some numbers about keyword protection. As of April 2022, we have more than 27,000 brand keywords in our database, and we daily intercept over 10,000 keywords, like for account name registration or change of account name. Then we talk about the Weixin channels brand protection measures. This consists of multiple measures, apparently. The first one is the proactive measures that we take. It's from content to account. So basically, we not only take down infringing content, we also penalize the account posted infringing content. And on top of this, we penalize personal accounts that are connected with a infringing channels account. So we have this multi-layer deterrence measures. And also, as we previously mentioned, the keyword protection mechanism works for channels as well. We now have a database in about 99,000 protected keywords under the channels brand protection mechanism, which include brand keywords plus other keywords I just mentioned, like corporate trade names, corporate name, etc. Also, to give some numbers, in 2022 H1, we have over 1,300 leads of counterfeiting received, and we have taken down more than 49,000 short videos that infringe brand owners' trademarks. And based on that, more than 700 channels accounts have been penalized, and about 380 personal accounts connected to those channels accounts are also penalized. We are also working more, on the channels reporting system. Basically, we have this beta test, for a expedited verification. So here, brand owners can log into the BPP backend for identification, so they do not have to go through a separate kind of channel. And the brand owners can see all the proof submitted by the users, including the infringing video. And also, the brand owners, there's no need for them to operate on the Weixin app, can directly view the complaint video on the web page. So you do not have to search that infringing video on your app to take a further look. And then last but not the least, the complaint account's name will be displayed on the backend as well. So this will be easier for brand owners checking in case this is a repeat infringement, or this account has been already penalized or in the past. Another point we want to make is the increased coverage of Weixin brand protection platform, covering the group chat complaints. So basically, we noticed that information of counterfeit products are sent in group chat as well. This is something more than just private chat. In a group, people may still circulate counterfeiting product information. So given this, we established a channel for submitting reports of infringement directly via group chats. In 2020, through the BPP, brand owners can verify these reports and take appropriate action, like what they can do on private chats. Another important measure we take is to increase users' awareness on brand protection. On the left-hand side is the guidelines we added for users before they file a complaint on the Weixin app. So we published this kind of instruction for reporting counterfeiting alongside the details on the supporting materials that should be provided. Given the difficulties of combating illicit trade in counterfeits and pirated goods in digital environments, educating and equipping the Weixin user base with additional information and tools. We hope this can help support respect for the enforceability of IP rights across the platform. Also, this shows our effort to reduce the amount of spam and irrelevant complaints, because users are educated before they submit a complaint, and they need to read through this, and they need to know what kind of proof they need to submit to support their infringement claim. As shown on the right-hand side is the educational materials we send to infringing accounts. Because we regularly penalize infringing accounts, but we also think it's necessary to educate our infringing users about what constitutes a trademark infringement and what kind of behaviors are not allowed on Weixin platform. So we have this educational kind of page, and then they need to read through the page and maybe complete a few tests before they are able to log in. So we hope that this can raise the users' awareness on the infringer side, so that we can make sure that our Weixin users are well aware of IP right protection. This is a strategy to restrict re-registration of blocked accounts, which used to be a quite big issue in China, I guess. So to prevent repeat infringement and ensure accurate authorization of new accounts, Weixin links mobile phone numbers with device IDs. So when a mobile number is banned, the associated device is also recorded. If a user with a banned mobile phone number tries to register using the same device, it will be automatically blocked by Weixin. On the other hand, if a user with a previously banned mobile phone number tries to register using a different device, then we will require the user submit evidence from the telecom operator showing the activation date of the phone number. So this system, we hope to help ensure to ensure that banned users are not able to re-register, while new users are not unfairly penalized for actions of the previous holder of their mobile number, which may be recycled by the telecom operators. Yeah, these are the collaborations we had with brand owners and other stakeholders in this year. So basically, we have 5 online, offline conferences, and then we do regular consultancies with brand owners and IP enforcement agencies as well. As you can see, like we have been in contact of over 300 brand owners this year, and then like more than 500 representatives reach out to us, for consultancy purposes. Yeah, another highlight we want to mention here is the collaboration in criminal cases and administrative actions. So from January to August 2022, the Weixin team worked with a number of public security bureaus, to assist with criminal cases involving counterfeiting. So we did 8 criminal cases in provinces such as Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Guangdong, and the products involved are from various industries such as sports, luggage, alcohol, medicine, apparel. And also, like we collaborated with brand owners and Chinese administrative agencies in 2 administrative actions involving counterfeiting this year. Yeah, last but not the least, we want to mention the upgraded anti-counterfeiting deterrence strategy. So we have some upgrades this year. The first one is the extended length of account suspensions. Essentially, we have doubled the maximum length of account restriction we impose for most types of infringement. For instance, Weixin may now suspend a personal account found to be posting counterfeit product information anywhere from 50 to 500 days, while further restricting the infringing user from utilizing the Moments feature for a minimum of 500 days and up to 1,000 days, which can be quite tough penalty against users. Another one is the broadened scope for account termination and temporary suspension. We have broadened the scope, so which means account can be banned or like temporarily or permanently based on a number of infringing situations. Like I'll just talk 1 or 2 about them. Like one situation is that the user has used the account predominantly for counterfeiting since the registration of the account. And also, if a user is found by courts or government authorities to have committed serious legal violations by posting counterfeit information. Another point is that the aggravated penalty against repeat infringement. So Weixin considers more stringent measures against repeat infringement activities. So I'm not going to go into the details, but essentially more severe penalties will be considered if an account commits repeat infringement. The level of penalty will be escalated based on like how many times this account has been penalized for posting counterfeit information before. The last one is that in July 2022, Weixin launched a new enforcement strategy that restricts group chat access for infringing accounts. So penalized account users are under temporary account suspensions, are restricted from creating group chats, joining group chats, or speaking in existing group chats. Then here comes to the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, you may refer to either the FAQ section under the BPP backend or you can look at the Weixin brand protection platform's guidelines, which will be sent to you when you join the PPP. So we have a text version in both Chinese and English, and also we have a video version, which should be more interesting to watch, I guess. But unfortunately, this one is in Chinese only. Feel free to watch it if you're interested. Yeah. Then you can always contact us through this email, and we are welcome. We will welcome like all the suggestions, and opinions, from our brand owners, whether you are a PPP member or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross, for a detailed introduction. We're seeing a lot of questions here in the question area. Please feel free to add anything. I will give the floor to Kenny to answer the questions here.
Oh, hi, everyone. This is Kenny Lee from the Weixin Legal Center, the WeChat team Tencent. So today I'm going to in charge of the Q&A sections, and I saw there are several questions on the questions board, and so let me answer it one by one. The first one is from Leda. Is there a way to conduct brand protection within private conversations or privately shared content? And the answer is yes, and that's why PPP requires the user's report. The members of PPP can receive the report from users who add the infringer as a friend to find out the infringement within the private conversations or moments. So when the right holders did not add the infringer as a friend, you can rely on PPP to find out the true infringements. And the second question is from Macy Park. Is there any difference in the search results between Weixin and WeChat? So for these questions, Weixin and WeChat share the same information platform, but different account systems. So yes, the search results are totally the same. You don't have to worry about this. The third question is how are infringers penalized? Is there a process for blocking accounts after the first or second infringement, for example? So there is a set of penalized rules, from restricting the functions such as moments to blocking the accounts based on the infringement levels, and we can share the rules after this meeting. Yeah. Next question. Is it possible to request information from WeChat or Weixin about confirmed infringers? Well, for this question, it's a bit complicated. As a personal communication tool, WeChat protects the privacy of our users, and as a however, for the infringers, we will provide their actual users' information to the enforcement authority when the authority crackdowns on the infringers, but we will not provide it to the right holders. Yes. Wait a minute. So the next question is, can any brand be a member of PPP? Are there any special requirements for their PPP membership? Well, PPP is the mechanism used to protect the bands. So we will evaluate whether the brand has a need for counterfeiting on WeChat ecosystem. But basically, yes, we are free and welcome all the brands to join us. Next question. What documents and process are needed to register for PPP? So for the documents part, you have to provide the business license, the trademark certificate, the authorization letter, and the notarized certifications by the consulate. And for the process part, we can share the registration process and through the email after this meeting. So the next question from Leda, is there a special process for reporting and addressing impersonation threat and facing on WeChat. Actually, I'm not very clarified what this question is about, and I think BPP is a kind of special process. Yeah.
Yeah, for this, I think I understand what Ida means here about the impersonation, fraud, and phishing account. So some people are pretending to be like he or she has accounts run by the brand owner. For instance, is Tencent, a person posting something with account name like Tencent Beijing. And then the other users who friend this guy will be like, oh, so this is the person who representing Tencent. And then once we find out, how can we, is there any special way for us to report such infringement?
So both the right owners and users can also make the complaints like the normal counterfeiting through the BPP system. So I don't think there is a special process, but it's a normal process for reporting. Yeah.
And so we often see, like, sorry, just following up on this one. We often see some users, they're like posting information like we're selling very cheap sports shoes, and then you can buy from here like for like 100 kwai, so like 20 euros. So so the users can report them, that's correct?
Yes, yes. And the right owners can also. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah. So it's the normal range of what BPPs can cover. I think my question is, why is there a special process? Actually, that is not a special process. It's just a normal process. Yeah. Okay, so for the next question, can we also view the enforcement report history of each user reported to the BPP platform, for example, to see whether the user is a repeat infringer? And the answer is yes. They will be stored and shown in the BPP backends. So if you are a BPP member, you can log into the backend, just scan this information. Yeah. Next one. If we provide proof of counterfeit, including counterfeit indications to WeChat or Weixin as part of infringement notice, will this information be kept confidential or shared with the infringer? So yeah, they will become confidential. Don't worry about this. Okay. Next one. Do you collaborate with any other social media or e-commerce platforms to address infringers who operate across platforms? Can a user's behavior on one platform be used as grounds for infringement enforcement on WeChat and Weixin? Well, the answer is also yes. Actually, we do not confirm the authenticity of a user's actions on other platform. We cannot verify it is true or not, but the right holders can also submit the user's violations on other platforms as an additional evidence when you make a complaint in the WeChat or Weixin. So next questions. When will BPP available to pharmaceutical firms? Well, actually, it is available right now. Yeah, I will send you the updated documents to you after this meeting. Yeah. Okay, the next question is, how can the right owner make our life easy when submitting information or request? So for these questions, I would say if you can follow our guide when you make the complaints and provide the full documents and screenshots, and yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
I think they mentioned more about like the legalization and notarization part. Like you need to go through those processes with the consulate or the local lawyer, so that will take some time. Yeah, but I guess that's according to the laws. That's the thing we need to follow, right?
Okay. So the next question is, what is the average takedown time from Jamie? Yes, and basically the average takedown time would be 7 work days, but sometimes might be shorter and longer. Yeah, it depends. Wait. Sorry, some questions are a bit long and okay, so is there any plan to make the report method easier? For example, many brands are complaining that WeChat are requiring too much document comparing to other Chinese company. It requires notarized document, which is hard to get during the COVID time. The report requires company signature every time, which is also time consuming. Well, thank you very much from your suggestions. Yes, and we receive a lot of suggestions like this year, and we are trying to improve our process. And nowadays we need less documents than before. So yeah, you can check our website to see the latest process for registrations. The next question is, how could brand owners could commissions or use third-party agents to execute the WeChat BBP for them? And yes, we are very happy and welcome the brand owners to use the third-party agents to execute such a platform to make complaints and follow the whole process. So because we have to verify the identity of such third-party agents, so we requires their authorization letters from the brand owners. The next question is, can one user operate several WeChat accounts using one or multiple phone numbers? From our experience, one suspended block-click user started using another account after modifying its name. Is there any way to prevent such activity? Well, actually, we have such a mechanisms to block such accounts. If one account with one phone numbers which are confirmed as an infringers, we are blocking his re-registering use the same numbers. However, if he use another numbers to register a new account, we require his personal identity for more functions, such as the payment functions. Yes. Region channels.
I see one interesting question about mini program. Yeah, because in China we use a lot of mini program inside WeChat because that combine all the others apps in the same time. You can all like access them with the only one app, only WeChat. That's enough. And so I guess for the infringement on the mini program could be like a new issue for brand owners. Is there any way, any enforcement action that could taken from that part?
Yes, for the PPP memberships, there is a fast track to complain the mini program. Yes, so you can take down such mini program by submitting the evidence and supporting materials.
Perfect.
Okay.
And also, I think it's regarding the same mini program issue. Platform like Pinduoduo, WeChat also support a link from Pinduoduo, and Pinduoduo is also known for like infringing products. Is there a way that we could block it from the WeChat end?
Yes, I understand. It's very annoying questions because we cannot take down the whole Pinduoduo mini program. So when the right owners provide us some infringing links, we will send these links to Pinduoduo and try to negotiate with them to let them to take down. But we cannot to force them to take down the whole mini program. Yes.
I wanted to add on a bit like on this, because like mini programs are like third-party developed and operated functions. So basically, we don't have direct control like over Pinduoduo, let's say. So it like although like we can like advise them to take actions, right? But unfortunately, if they do not want to comply, then the issue can be tricky.
I just come up with an idea. Maybe like all the brand owners, if they're like more than 3 or 4, maybe all the brand owners could form a team or a group to file some complaints against the other third-party platform to make the complaints like bigger and more serious, so that party could take it seriously, and then that could be like a collaboration efforts for infringement taken down.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good directions and a good idea. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And do we have any other questions? Because we have some questions more or less similar to each other sometimes. Yes. Thank you, Kenny. I understand it could be a little bit I think there's a question about pharmaceutical companies, like will the PPP be available to pharmaceutical firms?
Wait, which one? I'm searching.
It's asked by Jeff. For me, it's at the beginning, at the bottom of the screen. When will BPP be available to pharmaceutical firms?
Oh, I think I have already answered these questions, and well, actually, it's available right now. Yeah, and I will update it, the new versions of documents to him. Yep.
Perfect, thank you. So I think that's more or less covering all the questions here. If you feel like you want to ask any more, please ask it right now so that we can finish it on time, not taking everybody's time too much. Okay. Thank you everyone for your questions. I can see a lot of them, and Kenny's trying his best to understand every question and understand and answer them.
Okay, I saw a new question from Jenny. So what do WeChat or Weixin consider as an infringement? Will account be suspended when users send phishing site in a group chat? And the answer is yes. So our security team has a full set of strategy to scan the phishing site. So if once we find the phishing site in a group chat, we will conduct the penalizations on such accounts, like blocking the phishing site or blocking the accounts.
Very nice to hear.
Yeah. So
sorry,
will WeChat help?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, Ross?
Can you finish your please, finish your sentence. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, add a bit on this. Yeah. Right. Because the phishing, like the strategy against phishing site, like not within the brand protection mechanism. On the other hand, it's more about like safety and security kind of thing. So it's quite technical. And then it's different from like what we just mentioned, like the BPP, the user reporting. It's a completely different system, which is automatically run. Yeah.
Thank you, Ross.
Okay, so for the new question from Zoe, will WeChat help take action against infringing mini program in the form of online shops? So that's very similar to what Rose just has answered. Well, yes, we will help to send the infringing links to the mini programs developers. However, it's a process of negotiations, and we are not sure he will take down the links or not. Yeah.
Great to know.
Yep.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, can I ask one question for Kenny and Ross, both of you here? Could you please share some case study with us in the final 2 minutes, like which brand you collaborated the more, or which industry? You don't have to name any brand if you don't want to. Like what kind of actions you have taken, and the success, the wins you have. Would you like to share with us?
I think some are included in the Rose presentations.
Mm-hmm.
we Rose like some.
Yeah, we have done some like collaborations with Chinese PSBs in criminal actions, raids, things like that, and investigations as well. Like although just as Kenny mentioned, like we might not be able to disclose the details of the PSBs because that's subject to their discussion. Yeah, but yeah, we're definitely doing things offline, and then like hopefully like our online and offline efforts can help brand owners, like in terms of IP enforcement in China. We know it's not an easy IP enforcement landscape. Yeah, but yeah, we are all like navigating through it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we're here, right? We're here to help the brands to navigate through how to make the best of your programs, your policy, your efforts, collaborating with different stakeholders. Thank you very much, Ross and Kenny, for your time. And thank you everyone who joined our session today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to drop an email to the email address here. Notice Heaven wxpbr@tencent.com, or you can also visit LexisNexis official website to get into connection with us. Thank you, everyone. I will wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining with us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.